Hello friends, today we shall start a new topic, dual nature of radiation and matter. Today is the introductory class. What is dual nature of radiation? We know that the phenomena like interference, diffraction and polarization can only be explained by using wave nature of light. And the phenomena like photoelectric effect, Raman effect, Compton effect, blackbody radiations can be explained on the basis of particle nature of light or radiation. And light is a form of energy. It propagates from one point to another point with or without medium. And it enables us to see the objects around us. The dual nature of light. The light sometimes exhibits wave nature of light and sometimes exhibit particle nature of light. This special property of light is called dual nature of light or radiation. And to explain the exact nature of light, many theories were proposed. Among them, Newton's corpuscular theory, Huygens wave theory, Maxwell's electromagnetic wave theory, Max Planck's quantum theory. According to Newton's corpuscular theory, light consists of tiny particles called corpuscles, and these corpuscles travel with a speed equal to speed of light in vacuum, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. When these corpuscles enter into the retina of our eye, the sensation of vision is produced. However, this theory could satisfactorily explain the phenomena like reflection and refraction of light. And according to this theory, the speed of light in denser medium is greater than the speed of light in rarer medium. But experiments have shown that the speed of light in rarer medium is greater than the speed of light in denser medium. And this theory failed to explain the phenomena like interference, diffraction and polarization of light. Later, Huygens proposed a new theory called Huygens wave theory. According to Huygens, light propagates in the form of waves. It is due to vibration of ether particles. However, this theory could satisfactorily explain the phenomena like interference and diffraction of light, but failed to explain polarization of light, because according to this theory, light is longitudinal wave, and according to the longitudinal nature of light, polarization of light cannot be explained. And also, the existence of ether medium is yet not be detected, because ether is a colorless, odorless, invisible hypothetical medium. Hence, this theory was discarded. Later, Maxwell proposed a new theory called Maxwell's electromagnetic wave theory. According to electromagnetic wave theory, light consists of electric and magnetic field vectors, and these electric and magnetic field vectors, that is electric field in the direction of propagation, and magnetic field, it is perpendicular to the direction of electric field. This is magnetic field vector and electric field vector. And according to electromagnetic wave theory, this electric field vector and magnetic field vector both are perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation of light. This theory satisfactorily explains the phenomena like reflection, refraction, interference, diffraction and polarization of light. According to this theory, light is transverse in nature. Light is transverse in nature, and the speed of the electromagnetic wave is equal to speed of light. But this theory, electromagnetic wave theory, failed to explain the phenomena like photoelectric effect, Raman effect, Compton effect and black body radiations. Therefore, Max Planck proposed a new theory called Maxwell's quantum theory of light. According to Maxwell's quantum theory, light consists of a packets of energy or bundle of energy, and these bundles or packets of energy is called photon or quanta. Photon or quanta, and when these photon or quanta incident on a metal surface, the collision between a photon and an electron is considered as elastic collision. Therefore, here photon is considered as a particle. Therefore, photon is a packet or bundle of energy, and it is also called as quanta. The properties of these photons are: the energy associated with one photon is given by E equal to h nu, where h is Planck's constant and its value is 6.625 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, or E equal to hc upon lambda, where c is speed of lighting vacuum or speed of electromagnetic wave or speed of photon, and lambda is the wavelength of incident light, and nu is frequency of photon or frequency of radiation. Frequency, it is the number of photons incident on unit area per unit time perpendicular to the surface is called frequency of radiation or frequency of photon, and the speed of these photons is equal to the speed of electromagnetic wave, that is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second or 3 lakh kilometer. And these photons are neutral in nature. Therefore, photons are unaffected by electric and magnetic fields. The rest mass of photon is considered as zero, and the mass of moving photon is undetermined, and the rest mass is taken as zero. The photon is associated with momentum given by P equal to h upon lambda, where lambda is the wavelength of photon or radiation, or P equal to h nu upon c, or P equal to h upon lambda. Therefore, photon associated with a momentum given by P equal to h upon lambda or P equal to h nu upon c. And the collision between a photon and an electron is perfectly elastic. It's perfectly elastic. That means the momentum and kinetic energy of photon before and after collision remains constant. And photon is considered as a particle. It is a packet or bundle of light energy or radiant energy. And the process of photoelectric effect confirms the particle nature of light. And we know that all metals contain a large number of free electrons. These free electrons move randomly inside the metal surface or near to the metal surface. But these electrons are not free to leave the metal surface, because when an electron attempts to come out of the metal surface, the surface acquires positive potential. Consider a metal surface. It contains a large number of free electrons. These free electrons can randomly move inside the conductor or metal surface, but are not allowed to leave the metal surface, because when an electron attempts to leave the metal surface or tries to come out of the surface becomes positively charged, or it acquires positive potential. Hence, negatively charged electrons are attracted inward. But these free electrons can be removed from the metal surface by supplying a suitable amount of energy to these electrons. And the source of energy supplied to these electrons may be heat energy or field energy, or it may be light energy, or electrons can be removed from the metal surface by bombarding them with high-speed electrons or alpha particles. Depending on the source of energy supplied to these electrons, the electron emission are classified as electron emission. The process of emission of electrons from the metal surface when a suitable amount of energy supplied to them is called electron emission. And based on the nature of energy supplied, the electron emission are classified as thermionic emission, field emission or cold emission, photoelectric emission and secondary emission. Then what is thermionic emission? When a metal is heated at a high temperature, electrons are emitted from the metal surface. This process of emission of electrons from metal surface, when it is heated to a high temperature, is called thermionic emission. The process of emission of electrons from the metal surface, when it is heated at high temperature, is called thermionic emission. And the particles or the electrons emitted in this process is called thermions. When metal surfaces are heated at high temperature, particles are emitted and these particles are called thermions. Secondly, field emission or cold emission. The process of emission of electrons from the metal surfaces when they are subjected at very high magnetic field or electric field of the order 10 raised to 8 volt per meter is called field emission or cold emission. The process of emission of electrons from the metal surface when it is subjected to a high electric or magnetic field is called field emission or cold emission. And the particles or the electrons particles emitted during this process are called electrons. Then photoelectric emission, the process of emission of electrons from the metal surface when it is irradiated with suitable frequency of light. Suitable frequency of light is called photoelectric emission. And the particles emitted in this process are called photoelectrons. Then secondary emission. The electrons can also be emitted, can also be removed from the metal surface by bombarding it with high-speed electron or alpha particle. Therefore, the process of emission of electrons from the metal surface can be obtained by bombarding them with high-speed electrons or alpha particles is called secondary emission. Therefore, electron emission, it is the process of emission of electrons from the metal surface when a suitable amount of energy supplied to them is called electron emission. There are three types of electron emission. They are thermionic emission, field or cold emission, photoelectric emission and secondary emission. Now, photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect was first discovered by Heinrich Hertz in 1887. Heinrich Hertz first discovered or observed photoelectric effect when he was studying on electromagnetic waves. Then what is photoelectric effect? When a light of suitable wavelength and suitable frequency or a high energetic radiation or light incident on a metal surface, the free electrons absorbs this radiant energy or light energy and they escape from the metal surface. And here the collision of light is with the electron is nothing but the collision between a photon and an electron. And the collision is perfectly elastic. That means both photon and electron, they are particles. And when one particle collides with another particle, what happens? It moves. Therefore, when a photon incident on an electron, the electron absorbs the energy, photon energy, and becomes energetic and escapes from the metal surface as shown in the figure. And the emitted electron is called photoelectron. Emitted electron is called photoelectron. Then what is photoelectric effect? Photoelectric effect, it is the process of emission of electrons from metal surface when it is illuminated by a light of suitable energy. A light of suitable frequency is called photoelectric effect. Heinrich Hertz first observed photoelectric effect in 1887. Then Lenard studied the photoelectric effect from 1886 to 1902, and the experimental arrangement used by Lenard is as shown in the figure. It consists of a glass tube, an evacuated glass tube with a quartz window, and a photosensitive material called cathode and collector called anode. They are connected across a high tension battery. With microammeter. Photosensitive material is nothing but the material which emits electrons when suitable amount of energy, light energy incident on it is called photosensitive material. And here cathode C, or it is also called as emitter, it emits electrons, and anode A, it is also called as collector, it collects electrons which are emitted by cathode. In the absence of light energy, when a high potential difference is developed between cathode and anode, the observations of Lenard. In the absence of light energy, when a high potential difference is developed between cathode and anode, no current found in the external circuit. No current found in the external circuit. This is first observation. And when an ultraviolet radiation is allowed to fall on the cathode, the electrons are emitted, and these emitted electrons are accelerated towards the collector plate, and a current can be noted by using microammeter. When in the absence of ultraviolet radiation, there is no current in the external circuit, though a potential difference is applied between cathode and anode. Secondly, when a light, that is ultraviolet radiations, incident on the cathode, electrons are emitted. These emitted electrons are accelerated towards anode, and a current can be noted in the external circuit. Number 3, when ultraviolet radiations are stopped, the current in the external circuit comes to stop suddenly. This indicates that when light of suitable frequency or high energetic light incident on photosensitive material, it emits electrons, and it confirms the particle nature of radiation. Particle nature of radiation. And in next class we shall discuss experimental study of photoelectric effect, and some important questions are: what is dual nature of radiation? What is dual nature of radiation? Why Newton's corpuscular theory was discarded? What is the success of Newton's corpuscular theory? Then, what is a photon? For one mass, what is a photon? For 3 or 5 mass, give the characteristic properties of photon. Give the characteristic properties of photon. For 2 mass, what is electron emission? Give the methods of electron emission, or mention the methods of electron emission. Thank you.